Great to be with you, whether you're watching on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or live, and we're letting you in right now. Today, we're doing something different, and my teleprompter clearly didn't work, so you got my phone. But when the news cycle gets tough, and I think we can all agree it got tough, the tough go shopping. So as we wait and see what 2025 has in store for us, we figured we'd take a little break from our normal programming to do a little holiday shopping prep. I'm calling this a shopping fest in 4 acts. Act 1, what we all hate, and this is going to be collective. Act 2, what's hot for the holidays, and you're going to hear from Jen Jolly, who probably doesn't need any introductions, but you can find her on the NBC Today Show and CNN, The Times, Tech+Life, a million places. She is a tech lifestyle expert, and she will be letting us have the sneak peek on what she's going to show on TV during the holidays. Then you're going to hear from Alfred Poor. Alfred is our resident technical person on the VEG staff and keeps up our databases, but he also has a thriving business as a consultant for people who want to brush up on their meeting, in particular their Zoom skills. So guess what Alfred's going to talk about? He's going to tell you how we can look better on our Zoom calls. And finally, you're going to meet Brandy Alexander, and you can ask her, but I asked her, that really is her real name. It's not a time of day. It's not time for a Brandy Alexander. So Brandy's on the brand side and is going to give us some insight into the psychology of how brands foster loyalty with us. So you're going to get the whole thing in 4 acts. And Act 1, what do we hate? Well, we had a prep call the other day where we're all on it. And these are just a few things, but we want to hear from you as well. Chatbots that just don't stop asking you what you want. Those secret codes that you get to prove it's you, but then by the time you prove it's you, it's expired. Tracking orders of things you can't even remember you ever bought, returning things, and an assault of text messages. I mean, I could show you my phone right now and you just see that everybody thinks all I want to do is shop. So that's my list. Jen, Alfred, Brandy, want to chime in with some of the things you hate and love or what we can do about them?
Yeah, I'll lead off the things I hate. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. I hate something that looks I hate something that looks amazing on social media and it's got a bajillion 5-star reviews. And I think, oh, that looks great. And I order it and it takes forever to get here. Once it gets here, it's an absolute crap gadget. Almost every single thing I've ordered, TikTok made me buy it, Facebook, Marketplace, not Marketplace, but the things that are advertised to me in my Facebook feed or Instagram feed, very few have turned out to be worth it. I hate that.
Oh, that's what's going to happen with my new foundation tomorrow, huh? Yeah.
Oh, I did one of those. Yeah. And then it was really hard to cancel the ongoing order. And yeah, no, they get you.
Yep.
Just say no to those social media ads.
And, China, we don't know how that's going to play out next year. But for now, like, have you ever tried to return something you bought off of Temu or Shine? Like, not happening. They'll cost you $400 more than what you paid for it. And so another hate. Alfred.
Yeah, well, just on a Temu story, I bought something and they sent me the wrong thing. And I ended up giving up rather than keep trying to send it back because it just wasn't worth it. I guess my peeve is not Black Friday, not Black Week, not Black Month, but Black Year. I mean, everything's discounted all the time. And there are valid Black Friday deals that are going to be big and they're going to be impressive, but everybody's talking about their Black Friday deals and they've been talking about them for a month, it seems. I mean, it's like starting Christmas at 4th of July. I think it's really hard for consumers to understand what's a bargain and what's not. And is this a price that I'm going to see even lower after Thanksgiving, I get tired of it.
Yeah. What else? Anybody have anything to say about loyalty?
So mine is unsubscribing. That is such a pet peeve of mine. If I can't figure out how to unsubscribe easily, I mean, they design it so it's not easy. So I get that. But yeah, unsubscribing from anything, whether it's an email, a subscription, what have you, that they make that intentionally challenging for sure.
Yes, they do. And it never involves a human, does it? Anybody else have a gripe before we start talking solutions?
I have one. How about when you just finished a season and suddenly you're already into the next one and more deals are coming in? There's no breaks anymore.
No.
Yep.
No. And if you haven't played with AI in your shopping list, you probably have and you don't know it, but it's even kind of more frightening. So I actually had to buy in bulk yesterday, and I looked at Alibaba has a new sourcing site, so eliminates the middleman, and you can go buy 500 tablecloths for all your friends, and the AI walks you through everything, and it's pretty powerful and pretty scary. So what do we do? Jen, when we talked the other day, I know you had a good one about your alias shopping persona.
Yeah, I have a list of tips that I give out all the time. First, you need to use some browser extensions, things like PayPal and PayPal Honey, that's kind of constantly combing for deal alerts and coupons and lower prices. Camel also tracks various products over time. So it will actually tell you if you're getting the best price. Keepa does something similar. And then I almost always start my shopping at Slick Deals. That's a wisdom and power of the crowd site, really. So it's millions of people who are vetting and voting on the very best deals. So you're not going to find one of those, hey, it sounds like a deal, but it's really not. And a lot of these are now working with Amazon. At first, they were locked out of Amazon, but I was buying something on Amazon a couple of days ago, and Honey PayPal popped up and said, oh, wait, this is cheaper over here. So that kind of thing is pretty great. It helped me to find some brand new Apple AirPods that are already $50 off. Walmart and Target are both competing over that. So really highly recommend those data aggregators and price watching and matching sites. And then, yeah, sign up for a Gmail. Get a Gmail that all it is your shopping alias, and then put in a bogus phone number so that they aren't going to keep making you do things to try to send you messages all the time. I put in my old home phone number. It doesn't always work if you want the latest 20% off, but you can find that stuff online anyway.
I love that. Anybody else have any good secrets to success? Yeah, loyalty clubs, I just can't figure it out. Like, I'm too dumb to figure out whether it pays to be in a loyalty club or not. Brandy, you know a lot about that, right?
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, I do think I'm bullish on that, but that's my business where I set that up for brands. So I always encourage people to opt into that stuff, download, like I'm a Nordstrom person. I have the Nordstrom app. I mean, there are some advantages to doing that because you do get exclusive deals. Amex is the same way with loyalty. I mean, you do get a lot of perks with Amex, and that is worth it. So there are loyalty programs that I think are worth it. You just have to be really selective.
Yeah.
And opt out the ones that you don't want to be in.
And I think if the brands are listening, loyalty, I don't particularly like spinning to find out what discount I'm going to get. I don't particularly like 16 texts a day or my free choice of 700 other products that I didn't want, or 20%. It's like, I think the brands have to learn when the frequency and when enough is enough. I know Gwen Morrison, you have a lot of retail experience, and I saw you on the call. You have anything to add?
Well, I think what we're talking about is being stalked by deals and offers, and it's like, I think some of the other speaker talking about how to maybe turn that around and be a little more in control of how you navigate the retail landscape. And I think the marketers, are generally making big mistakes, to continually go after us in the ways that a lot of these speakers have described. It still surprises me that even search is as bad as it is, even like on an Amazon or a Zappos, because, you'll say, I want a men's blue dress shirt. And then you'll get 2 shirts, and then you're going to get a red shirt, and then you're going to get a woman's blue dress, and it cascades from there. And then all of a sudden, anyone with a product like that is going to be chasing you down. So, I think in general, the brand marketers, and it's the people driving these algorithms and selling those services for, emanating from search, are making a mistake that's ultimately turning everybody off.
Yeah, no, that's well said. Yeah. Anybody else before we move on to our next segment? Any other shopping? And we will put this, we'll take the notes and we'll put it all in an email if you want, the sites that Jen mentioned. And
Well,
I
if
do
you
have
have Zoom
three
AI
more.
can put your whole meeting together as summary.
yes, yes. And so,
And then you
and
compare
so
that.
I will
You
just
could
say
also
that
use-
the trends this year, they're actually predicting a more frugal holiday, that Gen Z and below want experiences, not products.
Mhm.
That I'm trying to think of some of the other major sustainability, big trend. We'll see, analysts love to predict the shopping season. We think you're going to see a lot of video shopping, like, what used to be whatever QVC comes to your computer, and you're going to see the creators coming out hawking things. So that's some of what we think we're going to see this year. And then, of course, it all remains to be seen what our trade policy will be. So my advice is to buy anything like that you think might get tariffed in January now. And with that, I'm going to switch over to Jen. Did everybody see the setup that she created for today's show?
I love that.
Amazing. And I am
Welcome
going
to my living room.
I have worked with her for so many years, and this is what her room always looks like. Right?
Yeah.
Take it away,
Yeah.
Jen.
Thanks so much, Robin. Hi, everybody. Yeah, this is actually my living room right now. I was doing a satellite media tour this morning, so I have been here since midnight my time. I live on an island outside of Seattle in the not so sunny state of Washington. So got up around, midnight. We jumped on the air, and I have been just talking about this. Now, conversely to what Robin just said, I've been reading, hearing, talking to a whole bunch of experts, data scientists, and retail number crunchers out there. And they've said that wage growth continues to outpace inflation. And the average American plans to spend a record shattering $2,000 on gifts this year. Now, just a few years ago, I was saying, oh, wow, people plan to spend $700 on gifts. So to me, that's a big jump up. We're seeing about a 7% year over year uptick in gadget buying, even a little down from the pandemic, of course, but still up from what we, or especially I, kind of expected. Like Robin said, I felt like inflation's been really high, and I'm kind of pinching pennies everywhere I can. So with all that said, yeah, people are planning to spend as much as $2,000 this holiday season. But everyone's still looking for the best value and a great deal. And tech makers, well, they are massively showing up for it this year. The deals are here right now, to everyone else's point. They started with all the Amazon Prime days. They're out now ahead of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I'm already seeing significant markdowns on some brand new, just released gadgets. We haven't really seen that in years past. It's been more like, okay, last year's gadget gets a big markdown. A really good example with that here is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. This is a great example. I mean, this just is one of their new flagship AI forward tablets. It's got this big, huge, sharp 14.6-inch anti-reflective screen, but it's truly built for AI. Another big trend we're seeing this year, everything AI forward. And instead of just saying it, we can actually see it with features like Note Assist and Sketch to Image. I mean, I can draw my horrible little stick figure and AI comes in and makes it look like I'm an actual artist. It's kind of amazing for content creators, illustrators, students, you creative types who are more creative than me. Me, I like a good bargain. This is normally $1,200 and it's only been out a couple months. You can get it as much as $1,000 off with their holiday special prices. So that includes about $200 off for holiday specials and up to $800 off with eligible trade-in. $1,000 off one of the flagship new tablets. Yes, please. But we're seeing these kinds of specials across a lot of other devices too. I was talking about the latest Galaxy Buds from Samsung also. These are the Galaxy Buds 3. They look an awful lot like AirPods to me. All new design, crisp, clear audio, and then Galaxy AI kind of stepping in and adding these magic tricks that we're going to start seeing more and more from in our gadgets, including translating language as you're talking. I'm going to pause for that because I want you to think about that. You pop these in your ear, you're speaking to someone, like, let's say for me, I'd be speaking with somebody who's Japanese, doesn't speak any English. I don't speak any Japanese. As they're talking to me, this is translating what they're saying in my ear. It's not exact real time, but the promise is there. And that is really cool to me. I can speak back. And again, going through the AI and this little earbud, it translates to an app on their phone. That's super, super cool. Okay, another big trend that I am seeing this year, people upgrading gadgets they bought during the pandemic. And I'm not just talking about smartphones and laptops and bidets or webcams, video cams. This right here, this is the latest iRobot, and the upgrades here are surprising me. It's the Roomba Combo 10 Max Plus Auto Wash Dock. That's a super big mouthful of a name. What it does, well, kind of everything. It vacuums, it mops your floors. It's got an upgraded AI dirt detective feature that figures out which rooms are the dirtiest, so it knows where to prioritize and spend more time. It also knows when to wash its own mop pad out, empties its own bin, refills the mopping tank, recharges when it's done, and it will be marked down about $400 on Cyber Monday. All right, I'm going to take a pause. Robin, do you have a comment or a question?
So many. Well, first of all, I think your numbers are good because I used an AI to get my numbers. I just said, what are the trends in shopping? So clearly you have your ear to the real people's ground.
Let me tell you, AI is a year behind, right? So somebody just said this to me yesterday that, I looked up something about Elon Musk. It was totally wrong. And I said, and he told me what the stat was. And I said, yeah, that's from a year ago. AI is a year behind. You have to tell it it's wrong, and then it'll come back and correct itself a lot. But that's a really important reminder to go ahead and check the news sources. I've been using Perplexity AI. My friend Emily, and colleague Emily, who's on this call, turned me on to it. I had to correct it the other day. The minute I did, it came back. It cites all of the places it's pulling information from, so you can double, triple, quadruple check it. You still have to do that with AI. So that's a good reminder for that.
Oh, yeah, good tip. And the other, did the Samsungs, now I know the new Apple earbuds, they can also double as a hearing aid.
Yeah, these don't have that. But they, I'm thinking, I'm looking at my little stopwatch down here. Sorry if I'm getting distracted, making sure I don't talk too fast. Apples do that. Samsungs do not.
Right.
I'm thinking the Samsung wearables, the watches, they have the sleep apnea tracking, which is something Apple also added this year. I just got the latest AirPods, and I'm about ready to try out all of the noise isolation and hearing aid kind of helpers on there. I'm really curious if other people have used those, if they really work as they say they do. That's very interesting, and I will be following up on that. I'm a little behind on that one.
Can I tell you, my friend got them? I'm Suzanne. My friend got them. We were at dinner the other night, and she put them in her ears, the new Apple ones, because she does have a hearing thing. She said it was amazing. We're at Match, and it was jammed at the restaurant. She said it blocked out all the noise. She could hear me perfectly. And she said, it's amazing what they are doing.
Yeah.
She
Jen
loves it.
doesn't need it as much in Whidbey Island as you do in New York, but yeah.
And what's the name of
Um,
that little device that does everything, the black thing you talked about that goes around and cleans your house for you and everything? What did you say the name of that thing was?
That is the latest iRobot. Let me make sure I get the name right. iRobot Roomba Combo 10 Max Plus Auto Wash Dock.
Could you just
Did
put
you
that
hear,
in the
did you hear
chat
the
later?
peanut gallery over here? I just
Clever.
heard it.
We will
Jesus
get
Christ.
that.
Yeah, the names are ridiculous. Everybody
you.
names their stuff in a ridiculous way. But I
Okay, Jen,
remember
we're going to keep Jen moving through her list of things, or it'll be Christmas.
let's see. Another huge trend. You guys, I could talk about this for days. Okay, my dirt detective, we got the right name. We're also going to make sure that we have the name up somewhere for you. Let's see, going back over my notes here. For the home, another big trend for the home, portable backup power generators. These are a big hit this holiday. They are so much smaller, compact, more save the day superhero gadget than ever before. I'm reviewing these two right now. This is the Schneider off-grid portable power station. This, look, it's like the size of a lunchbox. It can keep phones, tablets, cameras, even small appliances powered up wherever the road or trail takes you. These start about $320. Then look at this big beefy awesome gadget right here. This is the Jackery 2000 V2. This is, like I said, bigger, beefier, but it holds enough power. Like if the lights went out at your house, you've got the storms, you've got the winter storms coming on, this can run your small appliances. I always ask, first thing I ask, will it run my refrigerator? Yes. And your microwave. It'll charge all your gadgets, keep your CPAP machines running overnight, incredible backup power whenever you need it. And the company just said, I just got off the phone with them. They said, I can tell you that for Black Friday through Cyber Monday, if you buy the Jackery on Amazon and you use my name, the code Jennifer001, it will give you almost $1,000 off. And I'm not telling you that because I make money. I don't make any
Of course you
money
do.
off of that. Jennifer001. I think that they just want to see that I actually have an audience. I don't know. I'm just now starting to play with, using codes and stuff because in news, we don't use those really ever. Again, I've got the peanut gallery over here. He says, yeah, you're doing them a favor. Yeah. Oh, he's saying, do me a favor, whatever. Okay, that's enough out of you over there. Okay, I love talking about all of these gadgets. I want to show you a few of my favorites from the year. This is the Air One water bottle that carbonates beverages on the go. So if you're like me and you love sparkling water, you love carbonated water, but not all the cans and bottles and everything that goes in it, you take this water bottle with you on the road, you unscrew the lid right here, and these tiny little carbonation capsules fit into it, right? You can make it as fizzy as you want or as flat as you want. You can put some flavors in there if you want, but check this out. You guys, this is under $100. It's a little company out of Manhattan. I probably did something wrong. Oh, there we go. Look at that. See it carbonating? Airflow. That's so cool. I've discovered that and I just can't get enough of it. They also do a lot of recycling of these little carbonation capsules. It's that take everywhere water bottle. I'm hoping to show this off on the Today Show on my next segment on December 6th. I've been using it since August and I love it. There are 1,000,001 portable power banks out there. This is the one that I do not leave home without. It's the Nimble Champ Series 2. This comes in at about $60, again, marked down for the holidays. Smaller than a deck of cards, but holds up to 3 days of power here. Can charge 2 devices at once, plays nice in the sandbox and works with the iPhone, iPad, Android devices, your headphones, your wearables, your Bluetooth speakers, all the things. And then, yeah, I'm not just day drinking here. My husband loves a great craft beer. I've been trying to find the right home brew kit for him for years. Finally, this UK company called Pinter, Pinter, just like it sounds, they're debuting this product in America. This is an all-in-one brew and draft machine. Lets you craft 12 pints of beer or hard cider at home in about a week. they send you with this one that I'm talking about here, they send you these, they call them pinter packs. This is all of the ingredients. You just mix these with water in the tank, leave them alone for about a week, refrigerate and enjoy. You guys, these are $100, more than $100 off right now. If you go to pinter.com, they send you the 2 pinter packs. You get this cool tasting glass. At 5 to 7 days, you've got your own home brew. It also makes, other things like hard ciders. I'm super into that. I'm going to cheers you in a second. I'll hold off on drinking because, day drinking. Last but not least, for my time here, I want to talk a little bit about retro tech. This is something
you've been asked about that in the chat.
Retro tech is having a major moment, you guys. Transparent, see-through gadgets making a huge comeback. Cassette tape sales have increased nearly 490%. Analog alarm clock sales are surging. Where's my little one right here? Why? Well, it's a combination of just tech overload and burnout, smartphone burnout, and then nostalgia seems to be kind of just driving everyone back to the future when it comes to their favorite gadgets for comfort and curiosity. At the very top of this trend, flip phones. I have written so much about them this year. They're all the rage, mainly due to smartphone burnout or for kids who are too young for free range internet access. I actually use a total wireless Nokia 2760 flip phone. It's a $30 fix. I picked it up at a Walmart. I use it for nights and weekends to reclaim my life from constant connection. It's got 4G LTE, 5 megapixel rear camera, video recorder, Bluetooth technology, and a GPS capability. It can run essential apps, just not addictive ones. I should know because I'm super back into Snake again. You guys remember that one? Yeah, boom boxes are back. Sony Walkmans are back. I found all of this old tech, including this Twimco clock. It's got the little flip. I love that. Found all of this at a company called Retrospect, RETROSPEKT. Time to slow down, embrace the analog a little bit. Remember how life was when it was a little slower, when we didn't all know everything and have everything everywhere all at once. That is my time. I'm open for questions.
Wow.
I'm just gonna go behind the curtain one time. Normally I wear pajamas when I do these. I just want to show you guys that I am today in pants and house slippers, but this actually is my real living room and you just got a little peek behind the scenes here or in front of the scenes.
We feel so lucky. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, really, really. And we'll get out a list to everybody. You're going to put this list together. We'll email you all. Alfred,
Yeah.
for Act 3 of this show, Alfred, you're going to talk about something near and dear to your heart, what the Zoom person should be doing. And clearly, I am not your best example today.
Thank you, Robin. So let me start by sharing my screen. But I hate this because here I've got my nice big slide and here I am way over here stuck in the corner, little mini me. So I'm going to change that. I prefer to be part of the presentation. So here I am big. And the fact is we're all spending a lot more time on Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, WebEx, you name it. We're in front of the camera a lot of the time. And people talk about Zoom fatigue and issues like that. So I want to talk a little bit about a few relatively inexpensive, most of them are under $100, products that can make your life easier or the life of somebody who's spending a lot of time on camera as part of their work. But before I get to the gifts, I want to talk about the 3 basic principles that I want you to keep in mind. The main 3 goals of being better in your online meetings are very simple. 1, you need to be seen. 2, you need to be heard. And 3, you want to minimize distractions. Pretty straightforward stuff. So all the gifts I have address 1 or more of these different issues. So let's see what I've got. I'm going to start off with a webcam, and there are lots of good webcams, but the CA Essential Webcam Flex is a little different than most. The way it works is it's got this boom here, and you can swivel it down and turn the camera so it's facing you. So what that does is put the camera in the middle of your screen so that you're looking at people while you're looking at the screen. I mean, way too often, you're on a Zoom call and people are looking down because that's where all the faces are. So if you can bring your camera in to where the faces are on your screen, you'll be making eye contact, and it's a lot more engaging. Now, there are a lot of web cameras that will do this, and you'll find a bunch of them on the VED database, online database, if you're looking for not just hardware, but platforms and services and AI tools and all that stuff. Great resource. But the other thing about this is, as you can see, the camera swivels, so you can use it as a document camera, or you can put your product image down there so you can show it off and demonstrate it, talk about it. And it's also got some buttons up there that do zoom and some other controls, so it's really easy to use. So it's for one that is going to put your camera in the middle of the screen for you. It's one of my favorite choices. And then there's that part about being heard. And to be honest, the microphone that's in your laptop, the microphone that's in your webcam, probably just isn't very good. And if people have to strain to hear you, it's tiring, and they're going to give up, and they're going to want to click away or check their email or do something else. So good sound quality is important. The Blue Yeti has been my gold standard, probably for 10 years, something like that. Available under $100. It's got multiple large diaphragm condenser mic modules in it, so it has very high fidelity sound quality. And the cool thing about it is you can set it for different sound patterns. For the most part, you're going to want to use one where it rejects the sounds that are coming from in front of you and only listens to what's coming directly from you. And so it's really good at that. I've still got the one I've been using for years, and it's great. And the cool thing about it is it's a USB mic, so you just plug it into a USB port. No soundboards or settings that you have to worry about. You just plug it into your USB and it works. One of the problems with these mics, in my opinion, is that number 3 point, the no distractions, minimize distractions. And for some people, it's fine to have something big like this in the picture while you're talking. But for a lot of people, it could be distracting, and you want something that's less intrusive for your sound quality. And for me, a lavalier mic is a solution. And so if you notice, I've got a tiny little one here. That's the mic that I'm using. A good example of this is one from Sennheiser. Sennheiser, if you're not familiar, very big name in the sound industry, recording industry. They make really cool, high quality products. This is a very, very inexpensive device. And again, it's USB. So you don't have to be a sound engineer. You just plug it into your computer and it works. Unobtrusive, easy to use, and can be a big improvement. And kind of related to sound is when you're on, have you ever been on Zoom and somebody says you're muted, can go off mute, or your camera's not on, or whatever, and there you are with your mouse, you're searching around looking for the right icon to click on, and how do you make it go on or off? This keyboard from Kensington is brilliant. The magic is in these 4 little keys up here. They come pre-programmed for Zoom. So you press this key and you go off mute, or you press it again and you're muted again. Same thing with your camera. You can hang up the call, so you don't have to go fumbling around the screen trying to figure out what you're supposed to click on. You just push one of these buttons and you're done. Very simple. This is more expensive than some of the other things I'm talking about today. It's probably, I think it's around $170. So it's a little more expensive than some of the other gifts. But for those who are on Zoom a lot and, run into this mute problem or other things, it can make life so much simpler, so much easier, and a good thing to think about. As it turns out, those buttons are also programmable, so you can do other things with them if you want. But for me, for many people, it's going to be worth the money just to just to be able to have a quick control over whether your mic is hot or not. If you want to go beyond that, that's definitely a step beyond that. And again, it's not very expensive. This is the Elgato Stream Deck, and it just plugs into a USB port on your computer. So it's easy to connect. There's nothing complicated about that. And basically what it is a macro pad that you can program for just about any program you're using, not just Zoom or Teams or those kinds of things, but you can use it with Photoshop, you can use it with Word, you can, Excel, you can program keystrokes into it. The cool thing is that it lights up and you can actually choose what icon appears for each button. And you can actually use your own images for the icon images if you want. So if you have a screenshot or picture of the program you're working with, you can actually put that on the button. Now, if it only had one set of buttons, it would still be really useful, but it's much more than that. You can have many, many pages of these buttons, and you can click between them so that you can go to different sets of buttons when you're using a different program or doing a presentation as opposed to just being in a chat or whatever. And in fact, I've got one right here, and I'm using it to do some of the dark magic that I'm doing right now. It's programmable, but it's not programming like Pascal or any of the C+ or any of those complicated languages. It's really just drag and drop text-based kinds of instructions. So it's not something that you have to learn a whole lot about to make it work. And it comes with all kinds of settings already for different programs. So it's very easy to configure and use. And I'm going to leave you with what I think is the best bargain of all. And that is a pair of cheap little googly eyes. Now, why googly eyes? Well, again, as I said before, it's really tempting to look down at your screen down here where the faces are and not up at your camera where you're making eye contact. And so a simple pair of googly eyes, you take them and you stick them on your computer. And as humans, we're hardwired to find eyes. It's part of pattern matching. We look for faces. Starting infants, it's one of the first things they can recognize as a face. So if you put the googly eyes up by your camera, it's going to be easier to look at that rather than down at your screen. So just add a couple pairs of googly eyes can make it much easier to focus on your audience and pay attention to them. Now, they're really cheap. They just cost pennies. You don't have to spend much to get a whole bunch of them, but most people don't need a whole bunch of them. So here's my...
You're not giving them out as presents, are you?
I am. For anybody on the call, Gigi's already put my email in there. Anybody on the call, if you send me your mailing address, your postal address, I will send you a pair of googly eyes for your computer. So that's my gift to you all.
I love that.
So there we go. Thank you so much.
Alfred, love it. Seriously, nobody does it better or make it like you really just do a phenomenal job. And you should look at our database directory because Alfred keeps it up and adds new hardware and new tools for meeting makers and conference goers all the time. So between Jennifer and Alfred, you have seen, I don't know, 15 products or so. And now we're going to move to Brandy Alexander, who you met earlier in the program. And Brandy's going to give you a different, there she is, I think. Brandy's going to give you a different slide. Yeah, it's me.
I don't have a cool set though. And to be honest, I thought that was like a virtual setup that she had going on when I first saw it. And I don't have any slides either, but I'm going to talk to you guys because we're going to get phygital. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Phygital, physical, and digital. And that's where I think retailers need to be this holiday season and beyond. It goes back to what you're saying about Robin, about Gen Z and wanting experiences. I mean, you walked into the Gap 15 years ago and you walk in today, it's the same experience, is it not? So, I mean, who's doing retail right is my question to you guys in terms of actually getting your ass down to a store to purchase something. Just kind of putting it out there, taking a poll.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Oh, wait, there, we got a hand. Yeah, good. What do you say? Who's doing it right?
Anybody have like a good Container Store? Okay, that's a good one.
Oh, I
So,
do.
so yeah, anyone?
You know,
Bloomingdale.
B&H
I go
is
to
pretty
Bloomingdale's
good.
every time I go to Manhattan, but that's because we live on an island, and where else are you going to go when you go to Manhattan?
Well, the
Yeah,
thing in
Target.
Manhattan,
I also get excited about Target because again, I live on an island, so yeah, Target always. But
Right.
I've been to
Okay.
really good
Fair.
Targets and really bad Targets, so it's not always quality
Target does it
control.
well. B&H in New York does a great job of both information and making sure that you walk out of there happy. But New York, just to go to New York shopping right now, if you go into a CVS or a Dwayne Reed, you know, everything's locked now because they steal
Right.
everything.
Right.
So you have to ask for your tooth. I had to buy toothpaste
I mean,
yesterday.
it's just shit show. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a shit show. So really what I'm talking to my clients about, and I work with a lot of brands, I work with a lot of retailers, and I'm also in the experience design space, as Robin knows. I am all about digital and physical. And so I think what we're doing, I work with a retailer in the home decor space. We're bringing in a sexy Santa one night. We're doing champagne and chandeliers. We're getting people to come in to the retail shop and giving them an experience and a reason to come down. And I think that really, that philosophy is where omnichannel happens. And so the kind of experience that you have in retail and the experience you have with a brand online, it should be fun. You should be engaged. It should not feel like what everybody was talking about when we just jumped on the call. Like, I just want to unsubscribe. I just want these people to leave me alone. Like, from a brand standpoint, that's not what we want to hear, right? We want people enthusiastic about, you know, being a part of our community. And it's really about, you know, building a community. So if you're a brand on this call thinking about how to build your community, I want you to think about a couple core things. Digital. Let's get physical. Let's get digital. Give them a reason to give a shit. Let's extend that to your social. So not just about, you know, posting a sale, oh, whatever day of the year it is, and here we are. No one cares about any of that shit anymore. Let's be real. We want a community though. So I work with an ice cream brand, and their goal is to really tap into ice cream enthusiasts. So there's some really cool channels that we can go and be a part of to really grow that audience. Reddit. I'm really bullish on Reddit right now. I'm loving TikTok stores. Something you talked about, Jennifer. I bought it on TikTok. I mean, we want the brands to be a part of that. And I know everyone's a little kind of hesitant about getting involved with TikTok because of all of it. But really, we're seeing performance there, and you got to go. I mean, my job is to get people to go where the audience is. So we're bullish on TikTok. You know, we're doing Instagram stores. We're not only creating the content and talking about the products, but we're building a community around a brand. And then, oh, by the way, shop here. And that's the right way to do it right now. It should be more of a conversation. It should be more of an experience. So we're taking that approach when it comes to social. And I just pulled up some stats here that are kind of mind-blowing, actually. So global social commerce sales are projected to reach 2.9 trillion by 2026. 76% of consumers have bought a product they saw on a brand's social media post. So they're not even buying necessarily going to the store, not necessarily going to Amazon, but like just buying it right there in the post. I'm sure many of you have done that. So 65% of US consumers discovered new products via social posts they weren't originally interested in, interrupting the flow. And then TikTok social commerce grew 34.4% this year, reaching $53.1 billion. So we're really focused on how to extend sort of that experience to social and really get them transacting there. Now, that's not to say that we're ignoring everything else because we're omnichannel. So we're also looking at the direct-to-consumer website. And that's another point that I wanted to kind of make on the like looking for deals. A lot of times it's a lot cheaper to buy something direct on the brand's website than it is through any other channel, including Amazon. I mean, really, people, Amazon is not a race to the bottom in terms of price. You know that you're paying for convenience. You know it's going to be more expensive for the most part on Amazon. If you go direct to consumer on their website, a lot of times you can get a better deal. The other sort of, I guess, advantage of doing that is you can abandon your cart and you're going to get a series of other emails, which may or may not include a discount. So you can strategically, if you want to risk, something being out of stock, certainly you don't want to do it that way. But if you abandon your cart, I mean, I have like a team that all they do is these email marketing pieces, and they will trigger one, 3 weeks out from an abandoned cart, and then it might be a 15% deal if you're willing to risk it. So there are some tips and tricks that the brands are doing to kind of win your business, as you guys know. But if you are a brand and not doing any of this, you definitely should be. So, and then going back to some of the other deals and discounts we were talking about and thinking about, Black Friday. Do want to touch on Black Friday because I know Black Friday is now like 3 months long, but really there is very deep discounts on Black Friday itself. Usually they're about 24 hours. It can be anything from free shipping to a super deep discount to a BOGO, something like that. But usually the Black Friday itself does offer a good, a decent discount. So it is worth going back to what I was saying originally. We want you following the brands that you like. We want you opting into the emails of the brands that you like. We want you downloading, the store app, because there are some advantages as you build that sort of loyalty for yourself to get these, kind of discounts for like the VIP programs of the world. But then going back to what I was originally saying and having that phygital experience, we want, from the brand's perspective, we don't want to be noise. We don't want to be perceived as, oh God, these people again. Another annoying thing is when you buy something and you continually receive an ad, like a display ad or an email asking you to buy the thing that you just bought. So, that's kind of on the brand side to take care of that. But really kind of appropriate engagement from a brand side to a consumer, and then, consumers opting into the brands that they actually want to follow is a good way to sort of set yourself up for getting the deals and discounts that really matter to you and the people that you shop for. So that's my spiel. Any questions? What are you guys seeing? What brands do you guys like?
Alfred says, they know I just bought pants. Don't try and sell them to me again. Yeah, and I buy baby gifts, but I don't want every baby company emailing me every day. So,
right.
But,
Robin,
but they are getting better, right?
Robin, if they were smart, they say, oh, you just bought pants. Do you need a belt? Do you need shoes to go there? We need a sweater to go that. Here's a sweater that goes with those pants.
Do you remember Amazon
should
had
know.
that product? It was called Amazon Wear. It was a camera, and it told you, you held up your sweater or put it on and said, now buy black pants and shoes, and it could put your outfit together. So Emily says Thrive Cosmetics. Emily, what do you
Tell me
think
more.
are a good example?
I love it.
I like them too.
Let's see. They're really pretty. I don't know how they came on it was a wire cutter piece that talked to me about favorite mascaras. And I love the ones that it's tubular. When you take it off, it's just warm water. Tiff. Yeah. Oh yeah. I forget the brand that used to have it, but anyway, it kept flaking. Tried it.
She's walking on her desk treadmill. By the way, Roddy just said Emily's dancing, but she's walking because you said let's get phygital, Brandy, and she went, okay, I better do that. I love that background too.
Yeah, great background. And Thrive, you don't feel that they send you too many emails once you buy from them? You feel like it's kind of just right?
Great call. They do. They're over marketing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Their stuff's really pretty and it's not too expensive and the quality's been good.
And Roddy just said, why do, like, he buys lenses. He's the DP and better of my half here. But he just asked, and it was on the mic a little bit there, but he said, I buy a new lens and then I get 1,000 ads for that new lens. We all go through that. We understand that. But Brandy, can you kind of explain what that is and why that happens? And it reminds me of when I write a story and it's in the New York Times or in USA Today, and then I get 20 pitches. Hey, if in case you're going to update that story or write it again, or like, no, you missed you missed your window. But
So
yeah,
yeah, it's a terrible strategy is what it boils down to. I mean, the brands should not be doing that. We don't do that. We are very appropriate in how we engage, our customers. So, once a week is all you really need, to avoid the unsubscribes, because then it's the flip side. It's like, okay, we need to promote the shit out of this. And then, oh, by the way, people are unsubscribing. So you can't have it both ways, right? It has to be a delicate balance. And I feel like the brands that really get that are, the ones that you want to engage with, like a Thrive Cosmetics, although you said they are over marketing to you now. But, that's what you risk as a brand is if you are going to do those 25 emails a day, you're going to get people unsubscribing, and then you're going to lose that opportunity to continue engagement with them. The same with social media. There's a balance in terms of how often you post, what you post. No one wants to read anything anymore. I continue to see brands that just put up static posts, or, hey, it's 4th of July. Yeah, we all get that. Like, that's not why I follow you, right? Build that community, make videos, like work. And then that goes back to what you're saying, Robin, with video shopping. Like,
Yeah.
literally, I have girls that work for me. They're 25. They look like they're influencers. They just work for me. They do all of this on behalf of a brand. And so it looks like, they're standing in their, living room, whatever, talking about the brand. We put it up there and people engage with that. It's because, and it also goes back to what you're saying, Alfred, with people looking for that human connection with your content. So I'm really pushing that with brands, like, stop just pushing product and start having a conversation why people should give a shit about your product and have people talking about it. So I love it. I mean, we're at a really kind of interesting inflection point, with where brands, can connect with people and have more of a conversation.
Brandy, that's such a good point. That's exactly what I do from the opposite. Like, I go and tell companies and marketers and that their messages, their messaging, over messaging to people is absolute crap. Like, the messages that I get for all of these gadgets sound like a poorly written AI commercial half the time. And I always say, this isn't a cheap commercial. Like, tell me what this is, why I need it, communicate with me, have a conversation with me. And it's the pushback, especially from either underling PR folks, who are answering to marketing higher ups, or, engineers. It's such an opportunity to take all of that information and really change lives with it. And I constantly say, like, before CES, I wish I could sit down with everyone of the thousands, tens of thousands of people who are going to pitch me personally at CES,
Right.
and say, here's how to do it. Like, just give me all of your messaging that you have and that you're going to throw at me. Let me completely rewrite it for you. I'm excited to hear you say that. And I just wish that more companies were taking that on, and more of the communications folks in the companies would really hear that.
Right. Yeah. Often, I mean, there's no easy button for this. That's the thing. It's not like we're going to put this out there. If you build it, they will come. You have to have a strategy, and you have to have a conversation at the end of the day. And it's doing 10,000 things right, not just like one or two. And that's the challenge of it.
Yeah, but it's always interesting, right? So I want to, and I'm going to do my commercial now and tell you where we're going to be in the next couple of weeks. If you are going to CES, not only do we run the retail portion of the conference program there, as well as finance, lifestyle, and robots, but this year we stuck our heads out and built a creator lab, a creator space where creators can come into CES, have a place to work, but there'll also be a stage where they can learn about perfecting their skills, whether it's their video conferencing skills or their camera shooting skills or their AI skills. So we'll have a whole area for them right in the central hall, just as you walk in the doors. We're terrifically excited. Then we go to Silicon Valley at the end of January, where we do Silicon Valley Video Summit, which, if you are a producer, an AV person, an engineer, it's also about upskilling your your video, your events, your conferences to make them more. We have people. Actually, our keynote is Reed AI, the Reed Hoffman from LinkedIn's AI, and the guy that created him. We have people who did the Adele concert and with their light up bracelets. So it's a really fun way to take some of the effective things in sports and entertainment and bring them into business. And then we're at the NAB show with our creator lab in April, where we again try and get creators to take it to the next level. And we'll be doing a preview with them and inviting some of the speakers on really shortly. So that's where we'll be. And then you can't even believe that my little OBS thing died. Can you see that slide? Yes, you can. So then we will see you, and you have to meet Brian Freed. He's wonderful. He'll be here on December 19th. I think there's an inventor inside everybody, but Brian's he'll teach you how to get on Shark Tank and how to think about your inventions. And he really is a pro who's been working with inventors forever. And then I'm going to teach you how to stay out of trouble with your AI generated images. I've been working on a big project about just how to attribute, whether it's a movie, whether it's image, whether it's music, what are your legal and liable, you will be liable responsibilities. And it's not that hard to do. So we'll talk about that. So in closing, I want to thank our guests because they rock. That was unbelievable. Love hearing about shopping. And we'll try and get everything. If you want, just contact us and we'll send you, Jennifer, maybe we'll even take your notes that you sent us and chop them down and get them out there, because she showed some great products. And I want you all to have a healthy and happy Thanksgiving season with your loved ones. And we'll do it again. So from the virtual events group to all of you, let's kick off the shopping season. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks
everyone.
Great to see you.